Okay, so yin is very relaxed. We're going to use a style of yoga called yin yoga. I don't know whether you've seen that symbol, yin and yang, the black and white. So yang is activity and yin is non-activity. And if you notice, it's 50-50, isn't it, in the symbol? How many people's lives are 50-50 like that? You know, so this is why yin is, I feel it's really beneficial and very important, because it should be, it's complementary to all the activity. So how we do yin is we first find comfort in a posture, in a position, and then we'll focus on our breath, which we'll establish beforehand. The breath is usually low in the belly in yin, so we actually press out the belly, feel it expand and soften, expand and soften. It's almost the opposite of what we want to do, really, isn't it? It's hard work to get used to it. So we'll do that. We'll find the comfortable posture, and it will look different for everybody. We'll go back to the breath, and then we'll just try and be as still as we can be and let go. We're going to let go of muscle, of any holding and grasping, because muscle doesn't allow the soft tissues to stretch. And this is what yin is about, allowing stretching, allowing all our soft tissues around the joints that hold onto the muscle and the skeleton, allowing them time to just stretch. So we'll be holding the posture for about a minute or two. And that's how we just begin to let go and melt towards the ground. Okay, so let's have a look at the time. We've got another minute to go. Let's see if there's anyone here yet. So we don't usually build up heat, so keeping layers on is a good idea. You should have all the props you need. There's usually 2 blankets. One you might want to use as a pillow or a prop. This is for eyes at the end. And there's another blanket to cover yourself if you need it. Okay. So I'll be using my phone for a timer. I'm not using it because I'm not paying attention or messaging anyone. Okay, so we'll make a start. Okay, you'll need 1 block. You could have the option of your bolster if you wish. You might want to roll the bolster off to one side or to the back of your mat or to the front of your mat, off your mat, just to give you a bit more space. And there are oils, there's essential oil here. So if you do feel like having a smell, having a rub of oil, you usually put it on the pulse points, I think. Okay, so yeah, that's there for your convenience. Okay, so we've got a block next to us or a roll. We're going to bring the seat to the middle of the mat now. I forgot, my name is Anju. Welcome to the class, for those who don't know me. Right, let's roll onto our spine. Keeping the feet on the mat, knees pointing upwards. Just allow the back body to find the floor, to find the mat. Relaxing, particularly around the hips and the shoulders. And the hips are the area of the body that yin really targets. So just feeling that softening in the hip area, maybe in the rib cage and the shoulders. And then we're going to find that block, press into the feet and lift up the back of your hips off the mat to slide the block under on the lowest level. And then place the tailbone in the center of the block. Okay, and then just allow everything to soften and relax against that block, the block that you have for support. You could even try a blanket if you don't like the height of the block. Maybe a little bit of height might just do a trick. Okay, so this is our supine position on the block. And we're going to remain here for a little reading from a book I have, The Insights by Bernie Clark. And we have a theme we usually follow each month. This one is on the Four Noble Truths, and we're on the second one. There is a cause of suffering. I'm going to read a little paragraph now on possible causes of suffering. Oh, before I do, if you want to extend the legs and feel the front of the hips open, go ahead, so that the heels rest down towards the top of the mat. If that's not comfortable for you, keep the feet just where you are. Okay. There are small short-term pains as well, which when we avoid them, create long-term suffering. It is the putting off of the meeting with your boss over an uncomfortable issue really going to make, is it really going to make you happier in the long run? If we only follow our animal nature when presenting with pleasure or pain, then we are giving up real happiness. When pain is present, as Stephen Levine eloquently explains, it is only present in the moment. These moments change. And once the moment is gone, let this moment be gone. Don't worry about when the pain will return. Don't allow your mind to relive the past episodes of uncomfortable sensations. Learn to live in this moment. Okay. So there's a possible cause of suffering that we might be reliving moments that have caused us some pain. Okay. So now we're going to inhale and exhale to step the feet back onto the mat. And then pressing down into feet, lifting up the hips, sliding the block out to one side. And then release the spine from the top, shoulders, mid-spine, the back of the waist, and then the hips. And let the hips feel really heavy and grounded. Just take a moment. Okay. Then we're going to lift the feet off the mat, knees in towards the chest, and then press the soles of your feet up, up, up towards the ceiling. So lengthening through the legs, press the soles up to the ceiling. And then hug those knees in again. Squeeze into a little shape, into a ball, Apanasana, and then release the feet down to the mat. And then rolling over to one side, come up into a seated position. Just taking the block off to one side. Okay, I think there's a little bit of an issue with the online connection. Okay, so seated position, and we'll check our breathing now. So anything that's easy for you, Sukhasana, cross-legged, or heels into the center line. You could even sit on a block. Sometimes that helps the spine to lengthen upwards. Okay. So we're going to find our breath, belly breath. You could place both hands, like fingertips, middle fingers over the belly button or something like that. And then we inhale, pressing out the belly. Exhale, softening the belly. Inhale, pressing out the belly. Exhale, softening into the belly. Let's do 2 more. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, so this is the breath we're going to continue. See if it works without the hands. And let's practice 1 more without the hands. Inhaling. And exhale. Wonderful. Okay, we're coming into our next posture, child pose. So the knees can be as wide as you wish. And then we let the hips drop towards the heels. And then we come onto forearms. We slowly sink lower and lower and lower towards the mat. So let's see, a bolster maybe will help the hips sink. Sometimes a block between the heels and the seat. Yeah. We'll be here for 1 more minute, just allowing the breath in the belly to assist the sinking down. Allowing the hips to go back and the body to drop. Inhaling and exhale and feel the body soften. Exhaling away the tension. Inhaling. Exhale. Let the body feel heavier and heavier. Inhale. And exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling 2 more breaths in child pose. And then we're going to come back upwards, upright. So help the hands may walk back to help that. Upright. And then we sit down on the seat. We bring both feet in front of us for our butterfly shape. Soles together. The heels can come up towards the body or it can be away, as much as you're comfortable with. Okay, so we're going to be in butterfly for 2 minutes. Soles together, or the soles can be apart a little, or opening like pages of the book, but we don't want to force anything because we're not using force, we're passive. We're just letting everything open. You could maybe just rest the arms, the elbows against the legs to help them, assist them to open. Inhaling in the belly, exhaling, softening in the belly. In yin, it's okay to round through the shoulders. It's okay to let go and be soft in the entire body. Softness is helping us to let go of muscle. Muscle is contraction and tightness and tension. At times we need to have muscles active. At times we need to rest all activeness and muscle. So the soft tissues don't like to work at the same time as the muscles. It's almost switching off to activate lengthening, to allow stretch. And this takes time. Using the breath, the exhalation is like magic dust working through the tension. Softening and relaxing. 2 more breaths in your butterfly pose. And then we're going to roll the spine upright, just rolling up through the shoulders, open up the shoulders, let the head stack on top of the spine, take the hands to the outsides of the legs and draw those knees together, give yourself a little hug. Okay. Now we're going to come back onto our spine. Oh, turn to the side a little so you can see what's going on that side. So rolling the spine back down with the knees up, we're going to lengthen both legs. Now know that you don't have to have the legs completely straight if the back is a little bit tender. So you can soften and keep the knees soft. And then we're going to slide the right sole of the right foot up the inside of the left leg as far as it will come. It's a tree shape when we're standing up, but we're lying down. So it's a lying down tree shape. The right sole sliding up that left leg. That's it. So once it feels comfortable and you're comfortable there, you could prop something under the right knee if need be. That's it. We're going to now go back to the breath. Breathing in to the belly, exhale, softening in the belly. So we're going to be here for 1 minute each side. Does that help? So when trying not to hold onto this right leg, imagine it's a very heavy branch on your tree. And it wants to drop. Inhaling, letting yourself know that with the exhalation, we're going to let that right hip soften. We're going to let go of the right leg. 2 more breaths. One more breath. And then slide the right foot back down to meet the left foot. Just take a moment. And then we'll switch sides. The left foot, the sole sliding up the inside of the right leg. And if it feels helpful to have a prop under the leg, maybe the left leg will relax a little easier, knowing there's something to support it. Go ahead and take a support. 1 minute now of taking our awareness to the breath in the belly. And exhaling to soften. Now the belly is almost like a second brain. We feel a lot in our bellies, registering a lot of feelings here. So when we breathe into the belly, we're acknowledging our second brain and helping it to stay calm, allowing our nervous system to be calm. Just 2 more breaths. Okay, let's slide that left foot back to meet the right. Take the feet onto the mat. And then we're going to hug those knees in towards the chest, the legs over the front of the body. Squeeze it, holding onto the legs, squeezing those thighs towards you. And still continuing to breathe. We're going to take 4 or 5 breaths like this into the belly, press it against the legs. Exhale, let the belly soften. Inhale. And exhale, let the belly soften. Notice that you might be able to squeeze those legs a little closer. Giving our bellies a bit of a, or our digestive system, a little bit of a massage. 1 more breath. Okay. And then we'll just roll over to the side. And come back up into a seated position. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to come onto all fours now. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and tucking the toes. We're going to do a little cow and cat in the spine. So a cow shape is where we dip into the spine and we point our tailbone up. We look forward. Exhaling the opposite now. Tuck the chin to the chest and arch the shoulders upwards. Tuck the tailbone down. And then flow back into cow. Inhale. And exhale. Tuck the tailbone down. Tuck the chin to the chest and arch, arch, arch. Press down to arch up the spine. And 2 more times. Inhale to cow. Tuck the tailbone up. Chin forward. Exhale into a cat shape, pressing down to arch, 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 and once more. And exhale. And then find a neutral spine, somewhere in between. So from here, we're going to find our downward dog. I'm just going to turn around again. Tucking the toes. We're going to slightly draw the spine up, slightly arch. Then press down into the hands and the toes to lift the knees, lift the tailbone. And this is our downward dog. We let the head hang. That's it. The heels can drop if you wish, or you can keep them lifted. You can straighten into the legs, or you can soften into the knees, bending the knees. But point that tailbone up Let the head hang down. You could even shake out the head. Let go of any tension around the neck, as if the head is just a heavy weight. One more breath in downward dog. And then we're going to come into our sleeping swan position. So we pick up the right foot, bring that right knee towards right wrist, and let the right foot go across the mat. You can do it right knee to the right wrist. There's a lot of coordination needed in yoga. Right knee to the right wrist, yeah? And the right foot just goes across the mat as much as it can. Is yours better in the center? Okay, then slide those back toes. Back as far as they will go. And then uncurl the toes so that you're on the top of the foot. Now, look back. Usually the leg goes out to the left a little. So just straighten it down in line with your left buttock. Yeah, left hip. Okay. So here we might want to use a block under the right buttock to keep it lifted. Or if you feel you can keep it lifted, no block. Grow tall through the spine. And then you can start to fold forward. Now come onto the elbows if that feels okay. Yeah. You can stay here and just let the head hang. Or you can make a little tower with your fists one on top of the other. Or some people like to rest all the way down. Lovely. So once you're comfortable and you can hold this, we're going to be here for 2 minutes. Sleeping in our swan pose. Maybe shifting some weight more so into the front of the left hip, into the left leg. Just keeping that right hip lifted best you can. Okay, letting go of the head. Notice if you're holding any muscle there to hold that head up. Just let it go, as if you're dropping your hat onto the ground. That's it. And we go back to the breath in the belly to inhale, expand, to exhale and let go. Inhaling is like a preparation. The exhalation is the execution. So we passive, we just let go. Allow everything to drop. That's the work in yin. Inhaling. Exhale. Now, as the book said, sometimes we feel pain, but we know this is momentary, or it could be. But pain is also a signal if it continues. So if there's any pain, sharpness here, withdraw a little to where you're comfortable. If it's not comfortable at all, you can also bring that right hip down. Release, let go. Everything passes. Two more breaths in our sleeping swan on this side. And then we'll come back onto our hands. We'll tuck the back toes. You're enjoying that one. Tucking the back toes. We lift that back knee. And then we lift the hips, pressing down into the hands to come back into our downward dog shape. You can stretch out that right leg, pressing down the right heel.
and then walk a little on the spot. Okay, then we're going to switch sides, picking up the left foot, left knee. This is the hardest bit, isn't it? Left knee to the left wrist. Left knee to the left wrist. And then the left foot goes across the mat a little, sliding those right toes back, back, back. And just make sure that right leg is in line with your right hip. That's it. Okay. Are we ready to come down onto the forearms? Maybe onto a little tower of bricks. You could even use your bolster or your blocks for a rest for the head if you wish. Or just let the head hang. It's quite nice to let the head fall, free fall. Go where you feel comfortable. Take it step by step. And then send a little bit more weight over towards the front of the right leg, keeping that left hip as high as it can go, as high as it needs to be, parallel to the right. Now, if this pain is not going away, you can always try the left hip on the floor, on the mat. Sometimes this is a little easier. Left knee towards the center sometimes works for people. Or staying on forearms. Sometimes one side is very different to the other side. So just being aware and safe in your own body. Go back to the breath, inhaling into the belly. Exhale to let go. Inhale into the belly. Notice the body dropping. Notice the giant upstairs. We have 2 more breaths here. We'll come back up onto hands. We'll tuck those back. No, sorry, we'll let the left hip come down this time so we can bring the back leg all the way forward this time. So extending through the legs, maybe tapping those legs out. Okay, caterpillar pose now. So let's start with the feet on the mat. We're going to take the belly to the thighs and keep this connection. Maybe thread the arms through. And then see if you can slide those feet forward, maybe onto the heels, keeping that belly to thigh connection. And then once you've found your edge, as far as you can go, you let the head drop. And we stay curled up in a caterpillar shape. I'm going to be here for 2 minutes. Noticing maybe even the neck and the shoulders having a lovely old stretch here. Noticing constriction in the belly, so still breathing the belly breath, but feeling the expansion against the legs, softening against the legs. So we've got 1 more minute to go. If you want to extend the legs fully, you can take the arms out, but try and keep that belly to thigh connection. Maybe the head drops closer to the legs. Two more breaths. And then we're going to start walking the fingers back. We'll just stack the vertebra, the spine, on mid spine on top of lower spine, and the rib cage, the spine and the rib cage over the mid spine. Roll up the shoulders, open the front shoulders, stacking the head on top. Okay. So we're going to come to happy baby next. Let's bring the seat back towards the middle of the mat. And again, rolling the spine down. We'll hug those knees in towards the chest, Apanasana, our own pose. Okay, then here you have options. I'm going to give you an option to, sorry, I should have said take a belt if you wish around the feet. Let me bring the belts up towards you. You can wrap the feet around the belt around the feet if you wish. Or you can hold the back of the knees as you send the soles up towards the ceiling. So here's the option to have the belt to help you draw the knees down to the outer edges of your body. If you want, you can hold your ankles or wrap your hands around the outer edges of your feet. That's it. So the belt will help you to just feel that weight with your arms, draw down, not pulling, not using bicep muscles or muscles in the arms. We're just drawing down naturally with gravity. That's it. We'll be here for 2 minutes. Now a happy baby. If the belt isn't for you, that's fine. Just yeah. The thighs wide apart. Yeah. The knees coming down towards the underarms. That's it. That's it. Inhaling. Exhaling. Let the back drop. Let the ribs anchor down. Let the shoulders relax. Let the legs feel heavy. Okay, so we have another minute to go. I'd really like you to think about your tailbone coming back down towards the mat, staying in the happy baby position, but just dropping or pressing down the tailbone. That's it. Just 2 more breaths. And then we'll release any holding, release the belt, draw the knees and the legs close together. And then give them another hug into your body. Hug those knees. Apanasana. Maybe sway side to side. That's usually quite nice. And massage the lower back if that feels nice. Wonderful. Okay. And then we're going to go into a Shavasana shape, a resting shape that works for you. You can take a pillow. You can take the bolster under the knees is very lovely for the lower back. So, what is it that you would like? How would you like to have your final rest? Some people like to be on their side, taking any props, and yeah, that's lovely. In between the knees, keeps the hips nicely balanced, safe for your lower back. You can, yes, yeah, you can use that if you wish. You can have 2, one under your knees if you wish. You could even have the feet on the bolster or the feet on blocks. That's very nice to lift the feet a little. Okay, so I would invite you to let your hands be in a restful place. Try not to close the fists. Try and have the palms open and soft. The fingers gently curling. Would you like to try a bolster under your knees? See if you can rest your legs on the bolster. Is that better? Yeah. Okay. So now is a time where you can leave the body alone for a while. Maybe notice if there's still any uncomfortable parts. Do your slight adjustment. Making sure the chin is tucked towards the chest. The eyes are gently closed or covered. And we can begin to notice your breath in its natural rhythm. Breathing from wherever it is comfortable for you now.
even notice the texture of your breath. Is it smooth? Is it rough? Is it jagged? The rhythm of your breath. Is it the same in and out? Maybe the size of your breath. And the journey. Following it into the nose and out of the nose. Taking yourself away from this container, the body, the outer world, to travel in. To explore what's going on inside. Noticing the mind's activity lessening, the thoughts lessening. And knowing that each moment passes one after the other. Like each breath passes. Learning to live with each moment as it arises. Learning to let go as the moment passes. Each breath, each moment, just being with each breath, each moment. If your attention begins to drift away, allow it. Each breath, each moment, taking us to the next and the next and the next. We're going to take a slightly deeper inhalation now. Paying attention to sensations on the skin, on the outer body. Noticing your shape, your legs, your arms, your hands and feet. Start to move the toes, start to move the fingers. Gently moving into the hands and the feet. Bringing some gentle movement to the legs and the arms. Taking any sort of movement that helps you to wake up. And then we start to blink open the eyes. We'll take away the pillows and blink open the eyes. Adjusting to the light or the dim light in the room. Taking any sort of stretch or movement that helps you to wake up completely now. Switching on all your senses. You are aware of where you are. And then when you're ready, bring the feet back onto the mat. Hug the knees into the chest. Roll away any cushions. And roll over to your left side. Let the feet rest, let the arms and hands rest, and the head for a few more moments. Okay, when you're ready, come up into a seated position. Bringing the hands down by the sides of the body. We're going to inhale and gather up the energy from around us and into your palms. Send it out there to the universe, maybe to someone you know needs it. Bring some to yourself, to your mind for pure thoughts, to your mouth for kind words, to your heart for greater tolerance and compassion. Namaste, everyone.